Thank you. Beautiful. Welcome. Good morning. My name is Zoe Laidlaw, and I'm a part of this Rogue Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship because I try to live by our shared principles, and it helps me to be in community with other people who are doing that too. So thank you all for that. We want to especially thank the members of the stream team who are here making our online service happen, and the members of the neighborhood team who welcome the on-site congregation. If you're a newcomer, we invite you to sign up for our mailing list by filling out the welcome form on rvuuf.org or a blue card that you'll find in the lobby if you're here in person, and checking the box to sign up for email news. You will then receive a weekly email newsletter telling you all the information you need to make your decision about whether you'd like to join us on Sunday morning on site or online. We are so glad to have you with us for this service, and we invite you to join us in our mission, embracing diversity, empowering connection, and engaging in the work. We have an announcement next from Francie Parr.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are honoring the financial team for their incredible time and energy each has given to the whole of Roof. Recently, my good friend Adrian Simmons and fellow Roofian were on a walk, and we were just exclaiming to each other our incredible gratitude for just knowing how much time each of these financial team members has worked, both in communion with each other as well as solidarity at home. And we were just profoundly expressing to each other not knowing exactly everything they do for sure, but knowing that they have spent hours and 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 more over the last years, of course, but especially the last few months. So I'm going to read off each of their names, hoping that many of them are here today. Those of you whose name I mentioned, please stand. Please remain standing while I speak about each of you just very, very briefly, and until we're done with each of the individuals. So we're going to start with Joe Martoni. Oh, dang. Pardon me? He's traveling. Well, many of you know Joe and have a picture of him in your head. This guy is the chair of the Finance Committee, and according to many, he is the heavy hitter. Thank you, Joe, for your hours and hours of devotion and hard work. Michael Ross. Yeah. Michael, stay standing, please. Michael is the chair of the Endowment Committee and often sends us information on News to Note. So please check that out when you go to News to Note. And Michael, we know how hard you've worked. Thank you for your hours and hours of devotion and hard work. John Law, are you here today? Unfortunately not. John is a relatively new member of this financial board and is valued for his input already. John, we thank you for your hours of devotion and hard work. Lila. Lila is a relatively new financial team board member. However, she also assists her partner Kathy with the stewardship committee, and she's on the Roof board. Thank you, Kathy, for your hours of hard work and devotion. Walt, are you upstairs? Okay, Walter, stand up if you can. He's probably tending to his business up there. He's been noted as someone who has worn all sorts of hats and too many to count. He's also very famous for his incomparable tech work, which he's doing right now, and he's pretty famous for his amazing mustache. Well, thank you for your hours of devotion and hard work. Alex Lucas, I know you're here. Alex is fairly new to the financial board, but is a long time member of ROOF, and before that, a Unitarian Universalist in other places. He's done enormous work for our congregation over the years. We value you on the financial team now. Thank you, Alex, for your hours of devotion and good work. Now, have I missed anybody who I should have? Oh, Carol. Thank you, Carol. Carol Cardova, please stand. She is a member of the financial board as well as the roof board. We know how hard you work in many other capacities too, Carol. Thank you for all your hours of devotion and hard work. Please, all of you remain standing for just one more second, because we're going to reverse and we're going to have everybody stand and give an applaud, a standing ovation. In conclusion, there are 2 cakes at the back table today that are dedicated to this financial team and all of their work. It's a very small thing in comparison to what they've done for us. Adrian and I would like to encourage you, each of you, to go to one of those people that you saw stand up and thank them from your own heart for the work that they've done and that they are doing for all of us, to benefit all of us. They are all very diligent and dedicated to the health and wealth of our congregation, and we'd like them to know and feel our sincere appreciation and gratitude. So once again, finance team, for your extraordinary service to the fellowship, thank you, and please, will you please be the first ones to get a piece of cake?
Thank you. We begin each service by acknowledging that our building is built on land that began as the home of the Cow Creek Umpqua, Lagawa, Takelma, and Shasta people. We remind ourselves that Indigenous people are part of our communities and continue to experience the effects of colonization and genocide. We are committed to fighting for the worth and dignity of Indigenous people, both in our community and around the world. Welcome, and thank you for being with us this morning.
We light the chalice this morning with words by Chris Rothbauer, The Paradox of Ancestry. We gather together this morning because others came before us. Some have left examples for us to follow, others lessons to learn from. And the paradox is that many have left both pain and joy. We honor our ancestors this morning, not because they are perfect or were perfect, but because without them, we would not be here together, sharing our joy, our pain, our living, and our dying.
So there was so much church business to take care of this morning, I completely forgot to put on my mic. So it's a busy place and there are a lot of things that have to be taken care of. So our opening song today is going to be one that you know. It's in our Teal hymnal, 1003. It's in 4 parts. We're a little sparse to be able to do this in sections, but I think you can do it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to divide you up into 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to run through this once, and then I'm going to go stand by your group, and we're going to do just your part, so you remember it. So bear with me. We'll get to the, all together now in a moment. But first, let's sing it all the way through. 1003. Ready? And where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Next part. Where do we come from? And you repeat it. And where do we come? Going on. And mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Again. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Go on. Where do we come from? Where are we go? Repeat. And where do we come from? Where are we going? Good. Now, this group is going to be part 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is going to be part 2. Look at your score and see what your parts are. All the way to the back. This is going to be, let's see. This is going to be part 3 from here to the front. And this is going to be part 4. Okay, so let's start with part 1 and let's see how you would. Who's part 1? Raise your hand. Very good. Okay, here we go. Just part 1. Just sing it once. Ready? And where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Good. Now you're just going to sing that over and over and over until I say stop. Part 2. Who's part 2? Oh, here we go. Ready? And very good. Okay, you guys got it. Who's part 3? Very good. You did the mystery. Ready? And mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. And number 4. Who's number 4? Very good. Here we go. Ready? And where do we come from? Where are we going? Got it? Okay, here we go. From the very beginning. So you just sing your own part. Here we go. Ready? And where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Part 1. Part 2. Part 3. Keep going. It was a different word. This one is good.
That That was impressive. Hi, I'm Adrienne Simmons, and I'm part of the anti-racism team. Earlier this month, President Trump made a proclamation so that there wouldn't be international visas provided to students who wanted to attend college and university here. That hit me really hard, and it was a time for me to reflect on why that hit me really hard. I grew up in the Midwest, and my dad worked for Argonne National Lab in Illinois. It's part of the Department of Energy. He was a technical editor. And fully half of all the scientists who worked on really challenging basic research came from all over the world. I'd see them when I visited my dad, or company picnics, or when my mom had coworkers over for Thanksgiving dinner, which they didn't have in their country. I also thought, boy, we must not have enough smart people in the United States if we need to recruit people from all over the world. So I also had the experience, probably like many others of you, with foreign exchange students. We had counselors from other countries at summer camp, co-workers who were either immigrants or perhaps first generation, and family members. My Uncle Lincoln's second wife, Sarun, escaped the killing fields of Cambodia and was a refugee in this country. And so she and her son and as many people as she could also were able to come as refugees to this country. So I never had a sense of a racial or ethnic hierarchy. If anything, I thought other people would be at the top. We're going through really challenging times right now where it feels like we're taking a lot of steps backwards. But I am hopeful because we have the example of the civil rights movement that if enough people stand up, we can achieve the principles that we have on the wall, especially the inherent worth and dignity of each person.
Our peace candle words are by Tenzin Gyatso, the Dalai Lama. Peace, in the sense of the absence of war, is of little value to someone who is dying of hunger or cold. It will not remove the pain of torture inflicted on a prisoner of conscience. Peace can only last where human rights are respected, where people are fed, and where individuals and nations are free. Thank you.
Things are a bit different during our summer services. The children can go to the garden for the entire service instead of leaving for classes during the service, and I see some are about to head out there right now. We don't have a storybook today, but some people's lives do read like a story, only it all really happened. So I'll tell you kind of a grown-up story about Ida B. Wells, who is also known by her name after marriage, Ida B. Wells Barnett. Ida's name came up when Daniel and I were planning this service. We found out that we have both been to historic sites where she lived or worked, and there are references to violence and inhumanity in this text. Ida was born to enslaved parents James and Lizzie Wells in Holly Springs, Mississippi in 1862. That was about 3 years before the end of the Civil War. After emancipation, her father was part of the Freedmen's Aid Society and the founding of Rust College, which Ida attended. James and Lizzie Wells died of yellow fever when Ida was just 16 and probably making a high school to college transition. So she left college and persuaded a nearby school administrator that she was 18 so she could teach for pay and support her siblings. The young Wells family moved to live with an aunt in Memphis the year Ida turned 20. Her brothers found work in carpentry, and Ida was able to take classes at Fisk University. But then, 2 years later, in 1884, something happened that took Ida beyond the world of family, work, and study. She had purchased a first-class ticket for a train trip, but was told to ride in the car for colored people. She refused, was forced off the train, sued, and won her case in court with a $500 award. However, the Tennessee Supreme Court overturned her award on appeal. She got nothing. This was a turning point. Ida began writing about politics and the treatment of African Americans in publications that were read by the Black community. She balanced work as a teacher and journalist until she lost her teaching job after writing about the conditions in the segregated schools of Memphis. Still another turning point came in 1892 when 3 Black grocers, all friends of Ida's, were arrested, then lynched after an attack on their store by a competing white grocer and his associates. And the grocers defended themselves. Several white men were shot but injured. So after that, they'd been arrested, but the mob got them. Ida Wells resolved to take up anti-lynching as her cause. So she continued her journalism and traveled at great risk to speak for that cause. Fortunately, she was safe in New York at the time another mob ransacked her Memphis office. She could not return safely to Memphis again, so she wrote where she was, including a major report on lynching for the New York Age, an African-American newspaper. She eventually married and moved to Chicago. She continued to collect anti-lynching petitions that went to Presidents William McKinley, who seemed to be sympathetic, Theodore Roosevelt, who said he was sympathetic, Woodrow Wilson, and Warren G. Harding, but none took action. While petitioning for anti-lynching legislation, she was also active in the women's suffrage movement. A suffrage march scheduled on Woodrow Wilson's inauguration day found Ida Wells Barnett marching in Washington with the white women. She defied the plan to have Black women segregated at the end of the march. Yes, Ida Wells Barnett. She kept her name when she married Ferdinand Barnett, and that was really unusual back then. This short overview in no way does justice to the activism and influence of Ida B. Wells Barnett, whose life, like that of Rosa Parks, finds her at the places where history was happening much more than the short textbook treatments can cover. There are good books and websites about her life and work if you would like to learn more.
Every few weeks, we come together in community to tell our stories and to acknowledge the events that shape us. Grief and joy, love and loss, challenges and celebrations. Sharing these joys and sorrows helps us live the part of our mission that urges us to empower connection. We are connected by our shared humanity and our love and care for one another. If you have recently encountered a milestone in your life, we invite you to share it with this community so that others may be touched by your joy or help you bear the burden of your sorrow. We ask you to come forward to the mic here and share your name and then briefly what's on your heart. We remind you that what is most tender might require silence, especially as our services are publicly streamed and archived on the internet. This makes it important that you share only for yourself and with mindfulness about what can be made public. If you choose to share or if you remain silent, we are grateful that you are part of this community of care. Our hope for these next few moments is to create a sacred time and space to hold the joys and sorrows that are part of our lives. I invite you to take a moment to gather your thoughts and prepare to share with us the joys and sorrows of your life.
I'm Francie Parr, and I have a joy and a sorrow. Is the mic working? Yes. Okay. My sorrow is that I forgot to name somebody this morning who's on the finance committee. It was right here in my notes. A very important person, as all of them are, and it's Tom Farrell. Tom, are you here? I don't think so, or you would have spoken up. So, Tom is the treasurer of the Finance Committee. Wow. So, we thank him deeply for his hard work and his devotion. My joy is that in a little bit less than a month, Bill and I will be celebrating our 50th anniversary. Wow is right. We've had many lives together, and I don't mean that as in past. I mean in this current one. And it's pretty cool that we've made it this long. Thank you. Say your name.
The whole name? Hi, I'm Wendy Eppinger. I also have a joy, and it is indicative of our belief in the next generation, and things are going to be good. So I'm a bragging grandma, but please enjoy my joy. My grandkids are pretty amazing kids. Number one, Stevie wrote and published a book. It's all about Yiddish expressions. It's very funny. He's also going to make me a great grandma next month. Wow. So, number two, Becca is she's an amazing kid. She was kind of an airhead, number two in the family, and she had to take every science course over again. It took her 2 years to get into nursing school. She was like 24. She also was a COVID nurse for 2.5 years and went all over the place. And now she's in her third year. She's going to be a nurse practitioner specializing in anesthesiology. And she really had a tough road, and I'm really, proud of her. Number three is in his third year of getting a philosophy PhD. at Chapel Hill. He's an amazing kid. His college Amherst gave him a 3-year scholarship to graduate school, which I've never heard of before. The whole family are employed at the Oregon Country Fair, all 4 of them. His sister just got her MSW in social work from Portland State and already has a job. So I just have a lot of faith and just wanted to convey my joy to you.
Hello, my name's Daniel Owens, and my joy is that I'm now working as a full-time chaplain at Providence Hospital, and it's been a long journey sort of to fulfill my call to the ministry. And you may not know, but Ruth is supporting me in my efforts to become nationally board certified as a chaplain. So I appreciate you and thank you for that.
It's a great privilege to know one another and to help hold these joys and sorrows, strengthening each other and our community. May these milestones and the ones that remain unspoken in the quiet places of the heart be held with tenderness and love.
Well, as all of that has happened already, and also what we will hear, I thought this would be an appropriate meditation for today. It's number 402 in your hymnal, but I don't think you need it. It's from You I Receive. And so if you remain seated, we're going to use some hand symbols to go with this, some hand gestures to kind of bring it home. It goes like this. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. One more time. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Good morning. Until 4 or 5 years ago, I thought I knew something about my family's history. Having only stories from one grandparent, I failed to understand the profound depth of my ignorance and maintained a comfortable illusion of honorable Southern heritage unstained by the crimes of chattel slavery. My Mississippi grandmother's humorous and touching stories from her mother were not wrong or deliberately misleading. They were simply incomplete. It was only ancestry research by my brother's adopted daughter from his second marriage to an African-American woman that made possible wonderful discoveries. This very bright daughter, now a college honors graduate with advanced language skills, including fluency in Mandarin Chinese, was, even when she was still a K-12 student, more than capable of due diligence checking out the background of someone her mother was marrying. Her research into Steve's background uncovered startling truths. Our third great-grandfather, Dr. Joseph Albert Guy, was a slave-holding member of the planter class in North Carolina, near Raleigh. More importantly, she learned there was an extended black Guy family across multiple states in the South and Midwest. Descended from people once the human property of my ancestor. Steve contacted this Guy family and gave them our address. Vicki and I received an invitation a month or two prior to the next Guy family reunion scheduled in Olive Branch, Mississippi in July of 2022. While we were debating whether we could afford to go and if we really wanted to, somehow there came to me the words of a passage in Dr. Martin Luther King's immortal speech of August 28, 1963. I have a dream that one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. If that phrase had not been echoing in my subconscious, I might have dismissed the idea out of hand. Even so, we had questions. So we called the numbers Steve had provided and spoke to one of the principal organizers, a Memphis arson investigator named Darren Leakey. It's another name that has associations with Africa. Did they really know who they were inviting? We were assured that they did know. From the jet-lagged start, all our meetings with the Black Guy family members were positive. On the first morning, getting a cup of coffee before breakfast, I was asked if I would like to join a prayer circle outside under the gazebo. Making a quick decision, I decided I did. And it really didn't hurt very much at all. Being exposed to what felt like a very loving expression of Christianity. As the informal session continued, I listened respectfully, only speaking when asked to personally share. I expressed that I found beauty and wisdom in following Jesus. My personal faith, however, was as a committed Unitarian Universalist. And when I pray, it is for strength and wisdom to be able to spread more love in this bruised and hurting world. We all smiled at each other, and no one made any attempt to contradict or correct anyone else. Over the course of the reunion, I was again invited to attend the early prayer sessions, and I continued to attend even when I would have liked to snooze a little longer before the breakfast buffet. One memory from that first reunion will remain in my heart forever. After a very long day of travel in basic economy seats with 2 interminable layovers, we had needed to be at Rogue at Medford Rogue Valley International Airport at 4 a.m. And we didn't arrive in Olive Branch, Mississippi after picking up our car at the Memphis airport until after 2 a.m. the next morning. The Get Acquainted banquet the following night was going on for quite a while. Vicky had given up the ghost after the third round of bingo, and I was about to follow. A beautiful black woman with 2 under 10 children got up to take her kids to bed. As she stepped behind me, she put her hand on my shoulder and said, "Good night, cousin." It is an article of my personal UU faith that I think might also be a true expression of the Christian faith. All of us are brothers and sisters. Amen. And cousins. This poem I think I still have a couple minutes. I'd like to read a couple of stanzas. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that is my man, the poor man's, the Indian, the Negro's, me. Who made America? Whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again? Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain, America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. That was Langston Hughes, a black man who wrote that poem, or published that poem in 1936. I hope someday some people have his name on their lips who are marching in the New York City Pride Walk today. I'd also like to mention that Ida B. Wells was not awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Literature until 2012. Normally, that's not a posthumous prize. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Don't we seem to take a lot of offerings at Roof? We have our first Sunday food bank offering, the same Sunday we have a regular offering. Our third Sunday offerings for social justice and action, and that all leaves the building. Our regular offerings that support this congregation and our mission. And on fifth Sundays, we take an offering for the minister's discretionary fund, which allows us to give money to people who are in crisis situations. This fund has paid rent, deposits, utility bills, car repairs, education expenses, medical expenses, and more for those who would not be able to have what they need any other way. We work with local organizations who make sure the need is real and then let us know just what is needed. So I appeal to you this fifth Sunday to let you know that the need is great. Giving today is the most direct way this congregation has of making a real difference in the lives of those who are struggling to survive in our Rogue Valley. Your generosity can literally save lives, keep families safe, and keep people going. This is one of the ways we engage in the work of making the world a better place. Please, give as generously as you are able. This is love in action. We receive and thank you for these gifts and all time and treasure you share with Ruth.
Our closing hymn this morning is in our gray hymnal. It's number 149. Many of you know this. Maybe you haven't sung it before, but it's called the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. It is a little bit high for some of us who have lower voices. You are welcome to join me in the octave lower version. Please rise and body your spirit.
Rejoicing, rise, rise.
Our closing words today are by Lindsay Bates. With faith in the creative powers of life, with hope for the future of life in this world, with love for all others who share this life with us, let us go forward in peace. Our meeting has ended. Let our service begin.
For we shall go out in joy, for we shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be, for we shall go out in joy, for we shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
I timed